Okay, in today's video, we are going to look at adding content to our course shells. Okay, we've changed we've changed the navigation menu, we've changed the home screen, so our course setup looks wonderful. Now let's look at adding some content. Okay, so you can transfer content from year to year. You can transfer content from other courses. We'll do that in another video. What I'm focusing on right now is I'm focusing on adding content that we're going to create or have pre-created. Okay, so I'm going to go to the content section of our course. In the content section of our course, this is what we get: the overview, the bookmarks, the course schedule, the table of contents is generic. Every single course has it. Also, remember, I'm operating in the old experience. So if you wanted to turn the new experience on, you could do that, or you can turn it off in this window as well, okay? Just so that your screen looks similar to mine, all right? So what we can do is, in an online course, units are classified as modules, okay? So if you want to add a new module, you would put the title in here, and I'm going to put Unit 1, okay? Then I just click out of there, and now we have Unit 1 in our content section. If you are working on a unit and an entire unit and you don't want the kids to be able to see it, you have the eye over here. This eye is currently saying that it's visible, so that means the kids can see it. When you click it, you have a visibility option, and now you have the eye, but you have the strike through. It means it's hidden, and it also says that Unit 1 is hidden there. So giving you the option to hide it, unhide it, is up to you. Some people want to work and then make the entire unit available. You can make entire units available. You can make specific things within the unit available. We're going to look at all that stuff. If you wanted to add dates, restrictions, updates to this, okay, you can. If you wanted to add dates or restrictions, it could mean that this unit is open for a specific period of time. They have to do one thing before they can open the other. That's a lot to ask for maybe a first few times D2L user, meaning yourself creating this. So I would suggest not at least putting the dates and restrictions. If you want to write a unit overview, you can do that as well, okay? So in Unit 1, there's multiple ways that you can add content. If you have pre-made up PDF files, Word files, things of that nature that you just want to put in there, you can drag and drop files here to create and update topics, okay? All you would have to do is you would have to go into your computer, grab where it is, okay? So I'm in the tutorial section here, and I can literally drop and drag a Word document, okay? It'll put it in there, okay? I could also go back and I could drop and drag a PDF file, and you can put it in there. Everything about that nature. Now, what happens is when you look at the sample document of Microsoft Word, when you click on it, this is what it looks like. It generates the title that you have, okay? And whatever it looks like. I just made a simple sample document. It comes down here. The kids would be able to download it. And that's what it looks like when you drag and drop a file, okay? Navigating your file, if you have the drop-down menu here, you can do different things with it. You could view it, you could make it, you could hide it from the users, you could change the file, you can do all sorts of different things, okay? Over here, you have required manual click to change. So automatic is when it wouldn't necessarily tell the kids that something is new, okay? I keep them all manual because what manual does is it provides a checkbox to the kids so they know that they've either visited it or not visited that specific course file, okay? That's a suggestion. Again, what you want to do is completely up to you in your specific course, okay? I'm going to show you further what I mean there. What I said may or may not have made sense to you, but I'll explain that towards the end of the video, okay? So that's the easiest way to add content. You just click and drag and everything is put in there. Now, I personally like to add content a different way, and I'm going to explain why as we work through it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up a Google Doc, okay? And I got a D2L PD sample document here in my Google Docs. This is what it looks like, okay? I'm going to click and drag so that I have two new windows, and then I can just go Alt and Tab and I can click back and forth easier there, okay? For me personally, I create web pages, all right? Now, some of you may have never created a web page before in your entire life, and you're like, I have no idea how to create a web page. And that's okay. D2L creates the web pages for you. So in the new menu, I'm going to go new, and I'm going to create a file. When you create a file, you get this, which looks like maybe an email, maybe a title with similar to a Microsoft Word document in terms of the menu here, but this is a web page that you're creating, okay? So the title would be what you want to appear on the home screen. So I'm going to put Activity 1 Sample Documents, okay? You can put whatever you want. Then in here, this navigates like a Google Doc or navigates like a Microsoft Word document where you can put titles, change it, center options, bold them, everything along the lines of that. I personally always start with our overview and our learning goals here, and then I'll write a description about what the students should expect in this activity. I'll spell expect right as well. Okay? I oftentimes change the title here and I change it to heading 3 or 4 or big size, and then I write my description. Then I usually put the content, and the content is notes, things kids need to review to complete activities or assignments, provide links to handouts, etc. Okay? So that's what I do there. I would make the content section title a little bit larger as well. I can highlight this and I can make it here. Okay, I can hit the drop down menu. I can align it different ways. I can bold, unbold. There's more things here as well. Okay, you can put equations in. You can do it every which way you want. Now, the reason I create web pages is, in my opinion, it's one-stop shopping. And what I mean by one-stop shopping is, instead of having 3 or 4 links on the homepage where the kid needs to access the note to read, access maybe a URL for them to visit a website to review, and then access a question sheet that they need to complete, you can create it all in here, okay? And I'll show you how. Now, I suggest using Google Docs, Google Sheets, slides instead of PowerPoint, forms. Use the Google Documents because they are live links. And then once you put the links in here, you're never going to have to put the links in again. And again, I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so let's say I wanted the kids to read this D2L PD note. Obviously, it's not an extensive note, but I want them to read it, and I don't want to necessarily type it here, okay? So I'm going to work with this document. There's a couple ways to put this document in. The first thing you should get used to, though, is you should get used to changing the share permissions. So right now, when I hold my cursor over it, because I just made it new, This is private and only to me. So I'm going to click the share option here, and then our screen should be the same. Down on the bottom here, you have the restricted, only people added can open this link. So it's restricted to the Simcoe County District School Board. I'm going to click this menu. You might get this message here. That's fine. We got it. Okay. Then here it says Simcoe County District School Board. In the drop-down menu, I always hit the drop-down menu and I change it to anyone with the link. The reason I change it to anyone with the link is because then Simcoe County District School Board users don't have to be logged in. Anybody who has the link can go. So they don't necessarily need a Google account to see it. Sometimes when kids work from their phone and they view documents, they won't necessarily be logged into their school account and they wouldn't be able to access it from an iPad, things along the lines of that. So I always go with anyone with the link. And then you want to make sure that they're just a viewer. You don't want to give them the ability to edit because then they're changing their original document. Okay, so always keep it viewer and then you're done here. Okay, always get used to changing the share permission. Then up top you have the URL. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this URL. You can right click and copy, or you can press Control and C and it'll copy it for you. And I'm going to go back into here. Okay, and I'm going to select the insert the quick link. In the insert the quick link, okay, there's multiple options that you have here. It's alphabetical. If you notice, you can select going just from your Google Drive, and you could go into here. You might have to authorize your Google account, but this will link to your Google account. And then the D2L PD is up there. You could click it, select it, and it will put it in for you. Okay? Or you can hit the quick link down here. We already have the URL, so we're going to paste the URL here, and we're going to put D2L PD. Let's call it a reading activity, because this is a note that you want the kids to do. In the target, you want the target to be a new window. What that means is they're going to get a new tab up top here, and they won't have to navigate away from this page in order to view the document. Okay, that's why I personally like doing this better than inserting it from that Google Drive option, because the Google Drive option makes it open up in this window here and can make the navigation more challenging for the kids. Okay, now this link doesn't work. I'm clicking. It doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because you haven't closed this and made it a link yet. So I would have to save and close. Then what happens is this link is now live, and when I click it, notice it opens a new tab up top for the kids and they can view the document. All right. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it. They wouldn't be able to change it. They just can view it. That's all they can do. They can download if they really wanted to, and that's fine with you, but they can't make changes to your document. And that's super important. Okay. So I'm going to close that. So that's what we have here. Okay. On the screen, if you go back here to the unit, this is what it looks like. See how it says a web page now? Okay. It's different than here that says the Word document. And you can go in here and you can make changes to this at any point. All right. Continuing on. I'm going to edit the HTML, and I'm back in here to where I can make changes to it. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to put the title activity. You could even put assignment here as well. Okay. And I'm going to say, answer the questions in the link below. Okay. Make this heading 3 because I like to be consistent. Now, we all create wonderful question sheets in Word and or Google Docs. I would suggest doing it in Google Docs. Okay. So let's say this was a question sheet here now, And we wanted to give the question sheet to the students for them to fill out online and submit. But we don't want them to be able to make changes to the document. There's a way to do that, and it forces the kids to put a copy into their Google Doc. And here's how to do it. So get used to changing the share permissions. So click share down here, make sure that you click the change, and in this menu it's anyone with the link. We've already changed this because we're using the same document. Make sure it just says viewer and then press done. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go up into the URL here. And if you notice at the end, after the backslash, it says edit. It can say edit, and then sometimes it has even more things after the edit. What you want to do is you want to erase everything up to the backslash. So if there's anything after the word edit, erase all that as well. The edit will always be directly after the backslash. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to change it and you want to put the word copy. Okay? And then you will highlight this URL and you will copy it. And we're going to go back into here. We're going to put the quick link in. It is a URL. Okay? We're going to paste the URL and we're going to put it as question sheet. Again, you want it the new window. You're going to click insert and now it's here. Remember, the link won't work, okay, because we haven't closed our document yet. So we'll save and close. And now you can test and make sure that the link works. And here's the difference in the link. Remember, when we press this link, it just opens up the document and we can view it. Okay? Now, when we press the second link, what is happening is it says, copy document. Would you like to make a copy of the D2L PD document? This is forcing the kids to make a copy. So they'll make a copy and they'll get what looks like the exact same document, okay? But if you notice, it says copy of D2L PD. So what is occurring is they now have a copy of it in their own individual files. They can write all over this, okay? And it is not going to change your original. Because if I go back into my Google Docs, in my list, I now have the D2L PD original with the sharing with everybody, and then I have the copy of it, which is the other document. Okay? So that's how you would force copies, and then kids can work on it and submit it. Now, the reason I suggest you use Google Docs and Slides and all of the Google apps and put links in is because you can transfer content from year to year to year of your document. And let's say we're back in here and we're in the D2L PD and we realize that one question was bad and we want to change it. So I can add stuff here, add changes, new questions. I'm just making stuff up, okay? So I'm in my own PD here. I'm making it. I'm adding the changes. This is the document. This is what the document looks like, okay? So we are in here. We've made the changes, okay? Everyone would hopefully agree with that. We haven't done anything to this link. We haven't changed the link. We haven't done anything. Notice in my Google Doc, the copy looks this way, okay? So that's the original copy. We're gonna I'll get rid of the copy now. I'm gonna remove this, so I'm gonna delete it from here. And now notice I haven't, I'm gonna press the refresh here just real quick. Haven't done anything to the link. When I hit the question sheet now, it's gonna ask me to make a copy again. And then when I make the copy, the changes are there, okay? So I only have to put the link in once and I can make as many changes as I would like. And if I make those changes, it automatically live updates the links. If I was using a Word document, okay, once I put this document in here, I would have to put the document in again every single time that I make changes to the document, okay, because it's not a live document. So that's my suggestion with adding content. There's many other things that you can do in the content section. So if I'm editing this HTML document again, okay, if I go down here, I have this option, insert stuff, okay? So I could insert stuff directly from my computer. So I choose my computer, I choose a file. Let's go to and put the D2L PDF file in here. It's going to ask me to choose a destination. The destination is if you had other documents within your course, other files here, okay? You could select that path, it'll put it in there, you can upload it. It will ask you to link the text, so I'm going to put PDF file, and you click insert, and what you put is, I put PDF file, and what's occurring is now this is also a link. It's not live. I can save and close. And when I click it, the PDF file automatically comes up. Okay? So depending on how you want to go about doing this, you can do that. There's plenty of things you could do. You could put links to, in the insert stuff, you could put links to YouTube videos. Okay, so you just have to search. Let's search D2L because we're looking at D2L, see what comes up here. Virtual classroom demo, perfect. So we'll click that. We'll click next. It'll ask us about this. I don't ever change any of this. I click insert. And now what happens is it's up at the top. I would have had to put my cursor down at the bottom. Okay. But that's what it looks like. You can save and close. And then this video becomes playable for the kids within this. Okay. You can put direct links to your Dropbox items, course files. If you create checklists, discussions, you could link all of these things by creating web pages. And then that's why I always suggest creating a web page to upload your documents, because it's one-stop shopping. Okay. So that's the basics of creating content. If you have any questions about creating content at any point, please feel free to reach out.